against COVID-19 before gaining access into the stadia. The information was released by the Confederation of African Football during a press conference in Yaoundé on Thursday, December 16. According to a joint press statement signed by the Secretary General of CAF, the Minister of Public Health and Minister of Sports and Physical Education with Vice President of FECAFOOT, access into the stadia will require a vaccination card and a negative PCR COVID-19 test of not more than 72 hours or a negative TDR test within 24 hours. These measures, they say, will be put in place to ensure spectators are safe during the competition. The governor of the West Region, Ngwa Augustine, has reassured the population of the readiness of the West Region to prepare or host the AFCON 2021. He was speaking yesterday during an evaluation meeting with the local committee of the Bafoussam site to assess the state of sports, hotels, hospitals and road infrastructure altogether. Let's have his excerpt.
At this moment, I want to let you know that we are globally ready for the AFCON competition. What we're doing is just cutting the T's and dotting the I's. And we are emphasizing and working on preparing, sensitizing the population to be able to come out massively for this great event. Also, and emphasizing on the aspects of hygiene and sanitation, as well as security. So the different commissions, they've presented the situation, I think, at the level of the hotels. The airport is ready. The playgrounds are equally ready. The referral hospital in Kwekong has been inaugurated by the Prime Minister and the head of government. Our streets are taking a new look. Bafoussam, as well as the other towns, have been rehabilitated, and people are excited, overwhelmed, and joyfully waiting for this great event.
Still on the AFCON competition, the mascot Mula continued its nationwide tour as it arrived in Bamenda, chief town of the Northwest Region, Thursday, December 16, 2021. After Yaoundé, Douala, Boya, Limbe, the mascot was received in Bamenda with the tour heavily militarized. The bulletproof vest worn inside by the mascot drew the attention of the population. However, Bamenda was not retained amongst the host cities of the 2021 AFCON, which starts next month in the country. The Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Athanganji, has called on the population of the Far North region to be law-abiding and peace-loving for a better living together. This was during a two-day working visit in the region where he distributed some food items sent by the head of state to victims of the Arab Shua and Muslim conflict. Von Quinter.
Over 17,000 internally displaced persons and 38,000 refugees have received household and food items from a delegation led by Territorial Administration Minister Paul Athanganji, sent by the head of state Paul Biya to take stock of recent violence in Kuseri and the far north region of Cameroon.
We have fought intertribal conflict has caused a lot of disaster. Stores have been looted, people have been killed, and there's wanton destruction of property. And I think the message that we have brought is a message of appeasement and to encourage living together.
Minister Paul Athanganji, during his working visit to the far north, called on the population to be law-abiding and to cease from taking the law into their hands.
We are trying to sensitize the population that they should not take the law into their hands, and that if there is any problem, they have to go to the closest administrative authority or to the forces of law and order and complain so that things could be done properly. But if, because of land or the grazer and farmers' problems, you start killing, looting, I think it's not a very good example. So we are trying to sensitize the head of all the communities that they should talk to their respective population and sensitize them that we are in a state of law That's why you have the governor, the SDO, and the DOC. So in case of any problem, you can go to any local administrative authority and lay your complaint. Now when you have laid your complaint, you should wait for the administration to study the problem properly and bring adequate solutions.
Spokespersons from both communities, that is the Arab Shaus and Muslims, called on denizens to live together so as to put an end to all forms of violence. The delegation visited markets, shops and houses razed during clashes between herdsmen and fishermen, which broke out on December 5 in Kuseri, leaving over 20 dead, around 30 injured, and thousands escaped to neighboring Chad. Minat boss Paula Thanganji, accompanied by top defense and security officials plus administrative authorities, rounded off his 2-day walk-on visit to the far north this 16th day of December with a call for peace, unity, and living together.
Let's now talk about culture, where His Royal Majesty, the Sultan of Bamun in the West Region, Mohammed Nabil Njoya, will, as from 9 a.m. on Saturday, December 18, chair the General Assembly of the annual Ngun Festival. According to a press release signed on December 14, the assembly will be followed by a traditional dialogue at the Esplanade on issues concerning registration of the Ngun Festival on the representative list of the humanitarian cultural heritage. This will be done in the presence of representatives of UNESCO, the Ministry of Arts and Culture, the administration, and elders of the Bamun Palace. The people of Bakichini village in the northwest region have organized a Christmas party for children in the lone existing nursery school in the village. The nursery school is the first and only of its kind since the creation of the Bakichini community. Joy Ngong.
For the very first time since its existence, the population of Bakinchini village in the Messager subdivision northwest region of Cameroon can now boast of a nursery school in their community. The nursery school has allowed children too young to attend the primary section to acquire basic oral skills. The school is being created years after several cries had been made by the villagers for the necessity of a nursery school in the village. To celebrate the very first batch of the school this December, a special Christmas party was organized for the children by the school administration with assistance from parents. A party characterized by songs, dance, parades, and rhymes. The creation of nursery school Bakinchini comes at a time when education is nearly halted in the restive northwest region. Burning of schools, kidnapping and killing of teachers and students. The new school is thus regarded as the dawn of hope for the community. The population of Bakinchini continue their cry for help in maintaining the nursery school and the acquisition of basic didactic materials.
On our health page, we talk about the new coronavirus variant Omicron, which is feared by the World Health Organization to be underestimated. Working Awardee.
First designated by the World Health Organization on November 26, 2021, the Omicron of the coronavirus strain, a new variant, has been detected in dozens of countries worldwide. This new variant, unlike any other COVID-19 variant, is stipulated to possess milder symptoms, though it has infected many persons in different countries and multiplying 70 times faster than Delta and the original COVID-19 strain. To this regard, the World Health Organization Director General say,
Omicron is spreading at a rate we have not seen with any previous variant. We're concerned that people are dismissing Omicron as mild. Surely, we have learned by now that we underestimate this virus at our peril. Even if Omicron does cause less severe disease, the sheer number of cases could once again overwhelm unprepared health systems.
He reiterates on the fact that
I need to be very clear. Vaccines alone will not get any country out of this crisis. Countries can and must prevent the spread of Omicron with measures that work today. It's not vaccines instead of masks. It's not vaccines instead of distancing. It's not vaccines instead of ventilation or hand hygiene. Do it all. Do it consistently. Do it well.
It should be borne in mind that this variant lives and breeds in other parts of the world and is yet to be identified.
77 countries have now reported cases of Omicron, and the reality is that Omicron is probably in most countries, even if it hasn't been detected yet.
As years goes by, the pandemic seems to mitigate and bring new mutations as well as variants. It is important for countries to reinforce barrier measures in a bid to help reduce the spread, prevalence, as well as flatten the curve, especially this festive season.
It is less than a week since Samuel Eto'o was declared the president of Fecafoot, and news of the new president responding to duties call has been making rounds. Dolingonde compiled some of his greatest achievements since his re-election.
Since Saturday, 11 December 2021, Cameroonian football management has been experiencing a real revolution with the advent of a new executive office at Fecafoot, and especially with Samuel Eto'o being the president of the Football Federation of the country. It should be recalled that the elective General Assembly of Fecafoot opened on Saturday, December 11, 2021 and ended the next morning with the election of the members of the new executive committee of the Cameroonian football body. Indeed, making up the bureau of the 18-member executives for the first time in history is a lady who was carried to the post of first vice president. This is Celine Eko, who also doubles as president of the Southern Regional League, as well as former president of the Women's Football League. Another innovation that caught the attention of the media landscape of Cameroon is the fact that a journalist has joined the executive committee this time around. However, the rest of the composition for the new comics can mainly be noted on this footage. And now, talking on how much the new government has embraced duties, for the first time, the new president of Fecafoot begins responding to duties call by meeting with the employees of the body at the Fecafoot headquarters in Yaoundé early this week. Accompanied by his 4 vice presidents and some members of the executive committee, Samuel Eto'o gives his first directives, reiterating that the hours of service are between 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. prompt. Adding that every employee has to do their job well, like any football team. From the headquarters, Samuel Eto'o, new boss of Fecafoot, alongside entourage, headed straight to the site of the technical center under construction in Oja, still in Yaoundé, where he inspected the innovation works being carried out. Impressed already by his working sessions after Samuel Eto'o's surprising victory during the Fecafoot elections, the Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Professor Narcisse Mwele-Kombi, has also warmly congratulated the new Cameroonian football management boss, Samuel Eto'o. And in the same light, Frank Happy, former chairman of the board of directors of the Union Sportive Football Club in Douala, has painted pink the future of Cameroonian football with the advent of Samuel Eto'o at the head of Fecafoot. Meanwhile, after meeting with General Semenge, Samuel Eto'o assures the Cameroonian population that the Cameroonian Football Championships are due to start again just after the end of the African Cup of Nations. He added, this time around, the new executive of the federation will get the footballers back on track due to the endless tussles between the last administration and the clubs. Given that Samuel Eto'o is a man of the people, many sympathizers have reasoned out loud with the question, how strict can Samuel Eto'o be as a manager? The answer, of course, comes forth when Samuel Eto'o, during his second visit at the Fecafoot headquarters, landed some employees with sanctions. After arriving at about 7:45 a.m., at exactly 8 a.m. prompt, Samuel Eto'o instructed that the gates be closed. Thus, several late arrivals, especially those from the mail services who arrived after 8 a.m., were stranded outside. It should be noted that This was just after day one of his working visit at the office, where he had earlier reiterated working hours begin as from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. prompt. In less than a week, it is evident that Samuel Eto'o will match every word with actions even before the end of his regime as president of Fecafoot.
And out of the country in Niger, 7 months after their return to their lands, the people of Anzuru are again leaving their villages. They are victims of atrocities and the theft of livestock by jihadist fighters along the Mali and Niger-Anzuru border, where armed groups are still active. Over 4,000 people, including women and children, have now fled the area, citing security threats. Most of the fleeing communities have taken refuge in a nearby region known as Sarakoira. That was it for today's edition of Prime Flash, produced by Ngwa, Desmond. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. You have more stories in our 6:30 p.m. Prime News with Fon Quinta. Coming up next is In the House with Eileen Sama. Have a nice time and happy weekend.